Hi everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. So this video will be a comprehensive comparison guide on Tinybird versus ClickHouse. I'm going to be explaining what each one does, how easy it is to set up, and how much they both cost, so that by the end of this video you will know which one might be better for you. Now this will be a complete honest review, but if you would like to get started with Tinybird for free, go ahead and check the link in the description down below. Starting with, what is Tinybird? So Tinybird is built on top of ClickHouse. It handles these servers for you. Essentially, you don't need to install or tune any servers, you just send your data in, define your queries, and get an API to ask for results. Tinybird scales automatically, so you never worry about adding more machines. I would say this tool is absolutely ideal for developers who want to build data-powered applications and fast. But it's not ideal for teams that need total control over every server setting. As for ClickHouse, it is a super fast database for analyzing large amounts of data. It stores data in columns so it can read just the parts that you need. It can run queries on billions of rows in just seconds, and you can install it on your own servers or use ClickHouse Cloud, their managed service. This one is very good for teams with a DevOps person who can manage the servers, but if you don't want to deal with server setup and maintenance, then this tool might not be for you. Next up, I'm going to cover how easy it is to get started, and starting with Tinybird, you can sign up for absolutely free, test the platform out, and create your Tinybird account with no credit card requirement. You install the CLI, start the local server, and build your first version in a single command. You can define a pipe with simple SQL to transform data and then deploy the pipe, and Tinybird gives you a ready-to-use REST API. So what that means is that in about 5 minutes, you can query your data, no server setup required. As for ClickHouse, you want to spin up a VM or sign up for ClickHouse Cloud, and then install or connect in a few steps. Load your data using SQL or tools like Kafka or Spark, and then build your own API or use ClickHouse Cloud's built-in pipelines. So the overall winner in this category would be Tinybird. It is much faster to get going, you can focus on your data, not the servers. Now let's talk about getting data into each system and running queries. When it comes to Tinybird, ingesting data is as simple as making an HTTP request. You can also hook it up to Kafka, Amazon S3, or Postgres database with built-in connectors with no extra wiring. Tinybird offers automatic materialized views, as you can write a small SQL pipe, and then it keeps this up to date in real time. That way, when you run your queries, they hit already computed data, giving you sub 100 ms responses without manual setup. As for ClickHouse, you would have to load data in batches, for example by uploading CSV files or Parquet files, and then you write commands like insert into events, format Parquet, and wait for it to finish. For real-time streams, you set up Kafka, which means configuring topics, managing offsets, handling errors, and writing extra code to move data from Kafka into ClickHouse. Once your data is in, you run SQL queries, which is great for big batches, but if you need millisecond updates, then you do extra work to pre-aggregate your data with materialized views, and you still manage that yourself. So in the case of small teams and real-time needs, Tinybird is the clear winner. It takes care of ingestion and aggregation so you can focus on your product. ClickHouse on the other hand shines if you love building and tuning every part of the pipeline yourself, but it comes with more ops work. Now let's go ahead and talk about the API and developer workflow. Essentially, we're going to talk about what it takes to build an API for your data. For Tinybird, every pipe that you define automatically becomes a REST API. No extra code needed. Tinybird handles authentication, rate limiting, and scaling. You can version your pipelines as code in Git. A single push deploys changes from your laptop to production. As for the case in ClickHouse, you get a raw SQL endpoint. You basically write your own backend service in Node.js, Python, or Go. You need to handle pagination, caching, and security yourself, and that can be dozens or hundreds of lines of code. Each time you add a new report, you write new endpoints, test them, deploy, and maintain them. So if you want to ship features fast, you can go ahead and use Tinybird. You spend zero time building and securing APIs. ClickHouse on the other hand requires custom backend work, which is great for highly bespoke environments, but slower to get started. And now let's go ahead and touch base on the pricing. So Tinybird has a forever free plan that you can test your use case based on. No credit card required, you get 0.5 vCPU compute, 10 QPS max, 1 thread per request max, and 0.5 GB of memory per request, and up to 1000 queries per day. You also get 10 GB of storage, and you get Slack community support. So for a free plan, this is pretty generous. Their paid plan, the developer plan, starts at $25 per month for 0.25 vCPU. You get 150 vCPU hours included, 10 QPS included, 1 thread per request max, and 0.5 GB of memory per request, auto-scaled to 0.5 vCPU on demand, and up to 25 GB of storage included. You can still go for these plans, and even if you go over the limit, then you would have to pay a little bit extra depending on how much you overuse. On the other hand, if you require even more vCPU, then you can just simply drag down this menu and see how much you would want and then how much you would have to pay for it. So for example, if you would require about 3 virtual CPUs, then you would have to pay around $300 per month. When it comes to ClickHouse, on the other hand, then you would have to select your region at the start. You could request another region if yours does not exist here. And then for up to 1 terabyte of storage into the basic plan with backups every 24 hours, retained for 1 day, 1 availability zone, and you also get the expert support with 1 business day response time, you would have to pay about $54 per month as an average price. And this is the compute price that you would have to pay per unit per hour onto the basic plan. On the other hand, if you would like to get unlimited storage with configurable memory and all of these different features that you're seeing right here, then their scale plan would go between $147 to $293, but you would get some very powerful features. So when it comes to the comparison of these two tools, if you are a massive or you have a predictable enterprise kind of use, then ClickHouse Scale can be more straightforward, or especially if you require that unlimited storage feature that you're seeing on the Scale plan. On the other hand, Tinybird does give you enough storage that is suitable for most businesses. At the same time, if you are a small or a medium team, then Tinybird is far cheaper and more flexible. So putting it all together, I would say the pros and cons for each one of these tools is that ClickHouse Pros does give you the ultimate performance at scale. You end up getting full server control as you can tune every detail and no vendor lock-in as it is open source. But Tinybird, on the other hand, it gives you 0 server management as you get instant setup, auto-generated APIs with no backend code. You get the pay as you go, as you only pay for what you use just in case you go over the plan's limits. The forever free plan that is pretty generous and can get you started right away, and the auto-scaling that keeps performance tight. So while ClickHouse is unmatched for deep customization and the petabyte kind of scale analytics, Tinybird frees you from DevOps so your team can build data products instead of managing infrastructure. So if you want real-time analytics in minutes, you prefer serverless API-first workflows, or you need flexible usage-based pricing for growing startups or data teams, you would have to go with Tinybird. But if you want total control over your hardware and network, or you need that petabyte scale 24/7 uptime, or you have a DevOps team that's pretty reliable, then you can go for ClickHouse. So both tools are pretty amazing and it depends on your use case, but Tinybird would win for most teams that want speed, simplicity, and the built-in APIs without any server headaches. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have found it to be helpful and informative to watch, go ahead and get started for either one of these tools by navigating to the link below in the description. Let us know if you have found this video to be helpful and informative to watch by giving us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.